In the 8 years that I've been playing Fortnite, I've never seen the game feel as dry as it is right now. Seriously, from the gameplay to the updates, the story, and even the content being made around the game, Fortnite feels like it's in desperate need of some slurp juice. And in today's video, that's exactly what I'm going to be trying to provide. But in order to do that, we need to understand just how we got here. We need to rewind all the way back to the beginning to Fortnite's prime. Only by looking at what made the game so great in the first place can we understand why we're in this drought, and more importantly, how to fix it. Let's get into it. Fortnite's prime was undeniably special. In its first year alone, the game attracted over 200 million registered players, with millions more joining as Chapter 1 unfolded. Weekly updates back then were the norm, with Fortnite constantly evolving, always keeping the player base on their toes. Some of the best? Season 4 introduced the meteor crash, reshaping the map and sparking one of Fortnite's first major story arcs. Season 7 introduced the Infinity Blade, arguably the most powerful mythic ever added, even if it was only in the game for like 3 days. And last but not least, the first and only World Cup Fortnite has ever held, which garnered a ton of views and had everyone trying to play like a pro, even myself. But it wasn't just about new weapons or map changes. Fortnite in Chapter 1 managed to craft a surprisingly compelling storyline, one that kept players theorizing, speculating, and engaged for more. From a bunker to a rocket launch, to a cube, to a marshmallow concert, to a mech, and finally another rocket launch, Fortnite crafted a story that on paper shouldn't have worked, but somehow it did, and it did in a big way. For content creators, it was a gold mine. There was always something new to uncover, explore, or react to. Creators like Ninja, Tfue, CypherBK, and Nick30 owing a huge part of their success to Fortnite's meteoric rise. What we witnessed wasn't just a content wave, it was a tsunami, and it had everything a modern game should. Content updates, evolving gameplay, rich lore, and a community that was both passionate and creative. However, fast forward to today, and the story has completely flipped. For starters, the updates have been laughably slow, with only about 12 major updates being made throughout Chapter 6's entire runtime. Granted, the chapter isn't over yet, but if we're comparing this to Chapter 1, which we are, then that's pretty embarrassing, especially with one of those major updates being whatever this thing is. What makes it worse is that when we do finally get content, it feels recycled and uninspired. Take the Godzilla medallion for example. It's essentially just a reskinned version of the Cerberus mythic from Chapter 5. And last season's overarching theme, yet another heist theme, a concept we've already seen multiple times in Chapter 2 Season 2, Chapter 4 Season 4, and the remix event not long ago. This lack of creativity has bled into the storyline too. Back in the day, the story was in the driver's seat, with each season's theme serving to support and expand on it. Now, it feels like Fortnite picks a seasonal theme and then tries to force a story around it. And as we've seen, it just doesn't work, especially when the old story had characters like the Foundation, Dr. Sloan, and Agent Jones representing it, and the new one really doesn't have any. What's most disappointing though is that when Fortnite does try to do something unique or different, it often feels so disconnected from the core identity of the game. Take the current Star Wars season for example. So they added a bunch of blaster weapons and introduced a Darth Vader AI boss, which I mean I guess is fun, but what does any of that have to do with Fortnite? It doesn't feel like it's true to the identity of the game, but solely focused on the collaboration, devoid of personality. And that shift isn't just hurting how we play, it's impacting how we create around the game too. Small creators like Tricky, Chugga, and even myself have struggled to create content in what feels like a creative drought. When there's nothing new or meaningful to talk about, making content feels like more of a chore than a passion. And this is just a side note, but the cosmetics have followed the same path. Early skins were unique and felt special, but now, many of the new ones feel like lazy reskins or uninspired designs that don't have any personality whatsoever. And so this all begs the big question. Is there still hope? Surprisingly, I think there might be, just not how you might expect. As you guys probably know, GTA 6 is right around the corner, and with its release, I think this could be exactly the kind of competition Fortnite needs to wake up and finally give the community what it's been asking for, a return to classic Fortnite. Now how might they actually do that? I think a strong, well-executed summer season filled with map changes like Chapter 2 Season 3, fresh Fortnite-style cosmetics, and if we're lucky, an epic summer event like the one we got back in 2019 could finally break the content drought and would be the perfect chance to remind players why they fell in love with Fortnite in the first place. But I guess we'll have to see. Will the content drought drag on, or will the floodgates finally burst open and deliver a Fortnite experience worthy of the summer season? Guess we'll find out. Also, remove bots from OG.